welcome to South Asia Today, a show that provides you the glimpses of South Asia. I'm your host Shivangi Mishra. Let's begin with the headlines first. Buddha Neelkant Dharamshala built with Indian assistance in Kathmandu. Faculty on strike as cash crunch. Karakoram International University fails to pay salaries. And sacred month of Shravan begins in India. Let's begin the show. India and Nepal have strived to strengthen their decades-old ties through consistent engagement in different sectors, including social, political and economic fronts. Whether it is trade, politics, culture or people-to-people connection, the ties have been witnessing a consistent uptake for decades. In line with the same principle, recently Buddha Neelkant Dharamshala was constructed with Indian assistance, was handed over to Nepali officials at a ceremony in Kathmandu. Have a look.
The Buddha Neelkant Dharamshala, built under Indian assistance, has been handed over to Nepali authorities in a ceremony in an effort to improve relations between the two countries. The building has been completed 2.5 years after the laying of the foundation stone on March 11, 2021. A special ceremony held at the premises of the temple was attended by Nepal's Vice President Ram Sahai Prasad Yadav, Deputy Chief of the Indian Embassy in Kathmandu Prasanna Srivastav, Mathadish of the temple and Nepali lawmakers.
नेपालका धार्मिक क्षेत्रहरू ज्ञान, चिन्तन र दर्शनको वास्तविक उद्गम स्थल पनि हुन्। त्यसैले त नेपाललाई ज्ञानभूमि, चिन्तन भूमि र तपोभूमि समेत भनेर चिनिन्छ। यो सन्दर्भमा भारतीय दूतावासले बुढा नीलकण्ठ मन्दिर क्षेत्रलाई सहयोग गर्दै धर्मरक्षा र परोपकारका लागि धर्मशाला निर्माणमा योगदान गर्नु प्रशंसनीय कुरा हो। अतः भारतीय सरकारलाई हार्दिक धन्यवाद र आभार व्यक्त गर्दछु।
The reconstruction of the Dharamshala at Buddha Neelkant is the third of 28 cultural heritage conservation and restoration projects being undertaken with the reconstruction cost of 5,800 million Nepali rupees committed by the Government of India for the cultural heritage sector. All 28 sites were identified by the Government of Nepal, and both India and Nepal signed a MOU in this regard in August 2017. The Central Level Project Implementation Unit of the National Reconstruction Authority was the implementing agency. The Dharamshala at Buddha Neelkant is expected to facilitate the visit of pilgrims and tourists to this sacred temple.
बूढ़ा नीलकंठ मंदिर काठमांडू घाटी के सबसे महत्वपूर्ण सांस्कृतिक स्थलों और विरासतों में से एक है। इस पवित्र स्थान के संरक्षण और पुनरुद्धार कार्य से जुड़ना भारत सरकार के लिए बड़े सौभाग्य की बात है। इससे पहले भी इस मंदिर के परिसर में मठाधीश भवन भी भारत सरकार की सहायता से वर्ष 2019 में बनाया गया था। आज जिस धर्मशाला भवन का उद्घाटन किया जा रहा है, उसका निर्माण लगभग 5 करोड़ नेपाली रुपए की लागत से किया गया है। इस पवित्र मंदिर में बड़ी संख्या में आने वाले तीर्थयात्रियों के आराम से ठहरने के लिए इसमें पर्याप्त कमरे हैं, जिसमें सभी सुविधाएं भी हैं।
India has worked with Nepal for the restoration of cultural heritage projects in the past also. Earlier in November 2019, the Mathadish building for Buddha Neelkant temple was built under India's Development Cooperation Scheme at a total cost of 22 million Nepali rupees.
Moving on. To celebrate India's presidency of G20 and 75 years of independence, Akashvani or All India Radio, Srinagar is holding a 3-month-long entertainment and awareness campaign. Ever since the Union Territory held G20 Tourism Working Group Conference in Srinagar in May, there is a wave of enthusiasm and hope among the people of Kashmir. During this 3-month campaign, Akashvani is organizing programs such as theatres, debates, music shows and much more to reach the people of Kashmir and make them aware of the positive impact that India's G20 presidency is going to bring in the Union territory. We have a report.
Celebrating India's maiden presidency of G20 and 75 years of independence, Akashvani Srinagar is organizing a 3-month-long campaign to publicize and disseminate its culture around the globe. The G20 Tourism Working Group conference held in Srinagar in May has not just promoted the centuries-old traditions of Jammu and Kashmir on international platform, but will also attract big investments in the Union territory. Coincidentally, on July 1st, Akashvani Srinagar also celebrated its 75th anniversary as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
आकाशवाणी की तरफ से जो इंडिया की प्रेसिडेंसी है G20 की, उसको सेलिब्रेट करने के लिए एक कैंपेन शुरू किया गया है और ये सारे देश भर में 2-3 महीनों तक चलेगा। और इस सिलसिले में हम पब्लिक ओरिएंटेड इवेंट्स करेंगे, स्टूडियो बेस्ड इवेंट्स करेंगे और मुख्तलिफ जॉनर्स में प्रोग्राम्स करेंगे। उसमें थिएटर्स होंगे, उसमें कॉन्सर्ट्स होंगे, उसमें डिबेट्स होंगे, उसमें यूथ फेस्टिवल्स होंगे और साथ में जो आकाशवाणी का 75th ईयर कंप्लीट होने जा रहा है इस मंथ के एंड पर 1 जुलाई को प्लैटिनम जुबली मन रही है, उस सिलसिले को भी आज इसके साथ ही हम सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं। मकसद ये है कि जो सोच की लेवल पर तब्दीली आ ही गई है उसको कनेक्ट करने के लिए, पब्लिक के साथ, इंफॉर्मेशन के साथ जोड़ने के लिए हम ये कैंपेन शुरू कर रहे हैं और आज इसकी पहली कड़ी है। कुछ पैट्रियोटिक सॉन्ग्स हैं और कुछ डायलॉग्स हैं।
Kashmir, which has always been at the top of the bucket list as the most sought after tourist destinations, has taken a leap as it anticipates numerous opportunities post the summit. To keep a pace with the development drive in Jammu and Kashmir, the Akashvani Srinagar is striving to engage more people through its 3-month-long campaign. Various programs which included the patriotic songs, dialogues and speeches by the experts were led by participants on the occasion of the first episode of its campaign.
जी, आज मेरे लिए बहुत स्पेशली दिन है यहाँ पे परफॉर्म करने का, क्योंकि 2 रीज़न्स हैं। एक तो जो सेलिब्रेशन है इंडियाज़ प्रेसिडेंसी G20 का, दूसरा एक बहुत ही ख़ास मौका आने वाला है अभी 1 जुलाई को, जो प्लैटिनम जुबली ऑल इंडिया रेडियो श्रीनगर सेलिब्रेट करने वाला है। तो उसके उस हवाले से जो है ये आज कार्यक्रम मुनक्किद किया गया है, जिसमें हमें मौका दिया गया ऑल इंडिया रेडियो श्रीनगर का, जिसका मैं बहुत बड़ा शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि आज के प्रोग्राम की शुरुआत एक लंबा सीरीज स्टार्ट होने वाला है प्रोग्राम्स का, जिसमें थिएटर भी अभी हमको बताया गया कि वो भी अब आगे कंटिन्यू होगा, प्रेजेंटेशंस रहेंगी। तो पहला प्रोग्राम हम ही से शुरू किया गया, हार्मनी स्क्वायर ऑफ J&K है हमारा, जो आज प्रेजेंटेशंस दे रहा है। तो मुझे बहुत खुशी है इस बात की। G20 जब से स्टार्ट हुआ है तब से आप जैसे जानते ही हैं कि एक बहुत ही कल्चर को लेके काफ़ी एक हमें देखने को मिल रहा है कि काफ़ी इंक्लिनेशन देखने को मिल रहा है कल्चरल प्रोग्राम्स में, जो कि बहुत ही अच्छा एक पॉजिटिव एक मैसेज आता है। और हम आर्टिस्टों के लिए, हम आर्टिस्ट कम्युनिटीज़ के लिए, कश्मीर की स्पेशली, जम्मू कश्मीर की स्पेशली, उनके लिए बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट भी था, क्योंकि जब तक आर्ट आपका प्रिजर्व नहीं होगा, जब तक आर्टिस्ट आपके खुश नहीं होंगे, तब तक आपका कल्चर प्रिजर्व नहीं होगा, और जहाँ कल्चर नहीं है तो वहाँ पे तो कुछ फिर आगे रहता नहीं है। तो इसलिए इस हवाले से G20 का एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण जम्मू कश्मीर के ऊपर है, और आगे भी हमें उम्मीद है इसी तरह भारत सरकार हमें सपोर्ट करती रहेगी और इसी तरह कार्यक्रम आगे चलते रहेंगे।
Apart from its evident beauty, Kashmir has always stood out from the rest through its world-famous prose and poetry. People feel the G20 summit under India's presidency would restore the nobility of its literary works like Sufi poetry and make the world aware of it.
मेरे ख्याल में इस प्रोग्राम की जो ज़रूरत थी वो ये थी कि एक जो ये कौम है हमारी, इसमें बहुत सारे ऐसे मॉड्यूल्स हैं जिनको बहुत नज़रअंदाज किया गया था। तो इस प्रोग्राम की वसादत से हमें ये पता चला कि हम आने वाले दिन में, आने वाले वक्त में हम ऐसे अपने मॉड्यूल्स जो है, हमारे कल्चर हो, हैंडीक्राफ्ट हो, लिटरेचर हो, ट्रांसलेशन हो, म्यूज़िक हो, फोक म्यूज़िक हो, कुछ भी हो, तो हम इसको कैसे दुनिया तक पहुंचाएंगे। तो इनका ये मकसद ये था कि हमें प्रमोशन कैसे करनी पड़ेगी अपने कल्चर की, अपने हेरिटेज की, अपने आर्किटेक्चर की, अपने आर्ट की। तो ये एक मकसद था इसके पीछे।
The people of Jammu and Kashmir are overjoyed as an event under G20 was progressed successfully in Srinagar in May. Akashwani Srinagar's 3-month-long celebration campaign too is bringing joy among the public of Srinagar.
ये आकाशवाणी का श्रीनगर स्टेशन है।
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
Walking down the alley of Basra's Seventh-day Adventist Evangelical Church, bathed in light coming from its stained glass windows, the church's guardian, Faleh Hassan Fuad, remembers the days when he used to come here with friends from his neighborhood. These days are gone, he said, adding that the community had left. Most of them emigrated abroad. The church, founded in 1963, was closed down in 2003. Over the years, Fuad continued to come to the church to preserve it. Recently, the association Dararul Iraq decided to restore the church with works that included removing the bricks that closed windows and doors, cleaning the interior and restoring the facade. Iraq is overwhelmingly Muslim but hosts several ancient Christian communities who now number an estimated 200,000 to 300,000 people from the 1.5 million who lived in the country before the US invasion that toppled Saddam Hussein in 2003. Thousands of protesters carrying Israeli flags and chanting democracy marched through Tel Aviv, with some blocking a main highway, lighting fires and facing off with police on horseback. The protests broke out as Tel Aviv's police commander said he was quitting the force, citing political intervention by members of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's hard-right cabinet, whom he said wanted excessive force used against anti-government protesters. Israeli media estimated some 20,000 people demonstrated in Tel Aviv. On a Friday morning in late June, the waiting room of a children's hospital on the outskirts of Seoul was packed with dozens of children, many connected to intravenous drips, waiting for hours since 6 a.m. just to see a doctor or secure hospital bed. In May, a 5-year-old child in Seoul with acute laryngitis died after being sent home while not being able to find a bed in multiple hospitals. Doctors are concerned such cases will increase. Pediatricians have blamed the government for lack of appropriate action to fix long brewing problems and had asked for extra budget to attract more doctors into pediatrics. South Korea's Ministry of Health and Welfare acknowledged limitations in the system and said measures were being implemented to address them. The ministry earlier announced measures such as cancelling major hospitals' designation as a regional emergency center if pediatric patients are not properly treated. Compared with peers, South Korean pediatricians earn little. Among doctors in 23 clinical departments, pediatricians' income was the lowest, according to Health Insurance Review and Assessment Service data. Last month, in protest at the government for the lack of support, the Korean Pediatric Association held No Kid Zone seminar to help members leave pediatrics to a better paying field. Roughly 600 out of about 3,000 members flocked to hear lectures on skin beauty procedures such as Botox and adult chronic diseases.
Moving on. Teachers and staff at Karakoram University in the illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan held a massive protest against the government of Pakistan. The faculty members and staff complained they did not receive their full salaries. The Pakistan government and the local administration paid no heed to their problems. We have a report. Strikes at colleges and universities in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan is a new normal. At the Karakoram International University, the teachers and other staff members are on strike due to non-payment of their salaries. Their anger mounted high when they celebrated the Eid al-Adha festival without any money in hand. The Karakoram National University is facing a severe budgetary deficit and is not able to disburse salaries to the staff members.
हमारे ट्रेजर ऑफिस से एक नोटिफिकेशन निकला है कि हमारे पास फंड नहीं है, यूनिवर्सिटी क्राइसिस में जा रही है, कि पैसे नहीं है, कि ये नोटिफिकेशन कल कर रहे हैं हमें। ये हुक्मरान हमारा सोचते नहीं है, यहाँ पे जो बैठे हुए, जो हमारे वाइस चांसलर साहब को भी सोचना चाहिए और दीगर अफसरान को भी। अगर यूनिवर्सिटी डिफाल्टर हो रही है, इनको पता है, तो ये अपना गाड़ियाँ भी खड़ा क्यों नहीं करती है? अपना गाड़ियाँ इनको खड़ा करना चाहिए और यूनिवर्सिटी के दूसरे दीगर मामला जो है उनको क्लोज करना चाहिए। और टीडी मत में मुख्तलिफ मदों में ये लोग पैसे खाते हैं, ये चीज़ें बंद करना चाहिए। इनके साथ हम भी, ये हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी, हम ये नहीं चाहते कि अगर हमें ही दे दे। अगर ऐसे मामला हम यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ है, अगर ये यूनिवर्सिटी आज नहीं, हमारी नस्लों तक ये यूनिवर्सिटी चाहिए।
The university made numerous requests to the federal and provincial governments, but no financial support was received to pay salaries to the staff members. The protesting faculty and staff members have now threatened to intensify their protests if the issue is not resolved speedily.
ये दूसरा दिन है कार्यक्रम यूनिवर्सिटी में तनख्वाहों की कटौती के खिलाफ स्टाफ फैकल्टी सब मिलकर स्ट्राइक पे हैं। कोई क्लासेस नहीं हो रही हैं, पेन डाउन स्ट्राइक है, क्लासों का बॉयकॉट है और बाकायदा वो जा रहे हैं। इस वक्त तक हमारे साथ किसी ने कांटेक्ट भी नहीं किया, जी भी गवर्नमेंट ने भी नहीं किया, फेडरल गवर्नमेंट से भी कहीं सुनवाई नहीं है। हमारा एहतजाज जारी है जब तक हमारी कटौती जो की है उसका दोबारा नोटिफिकेशन नहीं होता है, उस तक ये एहतजाज जारी रहेगा।
The Pakistan government is giving no significance to educational institutions in the occupied territories, including Gilgit-Baltistan. The protests by students and faculty members of Karakoram International University indicates the poor state of the education system in the region. In India, the month of Shravan holds a great significance for Hindus. This month, dedicated to Lord Shiva, is all about devotion, fasting and prayers. This year, Shravan will extend for a duration of 2 months, which is a rarity seen after almost 2 decades. Let's take a look at how Hindus in India are observing Shravan.
As the monsoon rains drench the earth, the auspicious month of Shravan begins. It is a time when devotees embark on a journey of spiritual significance. Shravan is a holy month that is dedicated to Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati. Devotees flock to temples in parts of northern India to offer prayers and took holy dips in the Ganga river, offering prayers, milk, water and bilva leaves to Shiva. A huge number of devotees were seen at temples in various Indian cities who sought the blessings of Shiva for the peace and prosperity of their families. It is believed that anyone who worships Lord Shiva with a whole heart in this holy month gets all their desires fulfilled.
मैं जो है प्रभु के दर्शन के लिए यहाँ पे आया हूँ। मेरा बहुत बड़ा सौभाग्य है कि मैं सावन के महीने में प्रभु के दर्शन कर पाया हूँ।
During the holy month, the Mondays of Shravan is considered to be one of the most auspicious days. Many disciples observe fast on this day and pray to Shivling every day. Some people just eat one meal a day while others only eat fruits and skip grains, and they received Shiva's blessings and found their desired life partner. Throughout the whole month of Shravan, devotees travel to sacred locations and temples while carrying water pots and wearing bright attire as part of the Kavad Yatra, a holy mission. Kavadiyas collect holy water from the Ganga and return back to the temples and offer the water on the Shivling. The Kavad Yatra is not just a journey, it is a collective experience of devotion and camaraderie.
बाबा आनंदेश्वर के दरबार में हम सब लोग उपस्थित हुए हैं और यहाँ जो भी सच्चे मन से लोग प्रार्थना करते हैं और मांगते हैं तो निश्चित रूप से उनकी प्रार्थना बाबा आनंदेश्वर सुनते हैं और उनकी मुराद पूरी होती है.
As per the Hindu calendar, Shravan is the fifth holy month and the monsoon season in India is associated with Lord Shiva, and it is believed that praying to him during this period helps bring luck and prosperity to the devotees.
It's time for me to wrap up today's episode. We'll be back next week at the same time. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on the behalf of the entire production team of South Asia Today. Goodbye and take care.